what's the most urgent issue that's facing our city today, and what can the mayor's office do to address that issue? For a minute and a half, 90 seconds.
Sure, I think the most urgent issue is public safety. It's the reason why cities were organized in the first place. I believe that the first responders, both police and fire, need the respect and encouragement of the mayor. I think that we have seen the police department demoralized over the last 2 years. That was the reason that I entered the race by writing a couple of editorials in behalf of the officers. We hired the wrong police chief, a handpicked police chief from this mayor. We saw the resulting controversy. We have seen a tremendous amount of turmoil. 6 to 8 police officers have left the Boise Police Department for other Treasure Valley law enforcement agencies. That's unprecedented. We still have a hiring crisis of 30 officers or more. We need to fill those positions because right now we are robbing other priorities and placing them in control where they're available to respond to priorities and emergencies. That's why we see traffic issues. That's why we see increased traffic fatalities and crashes. We need to do more about that. We need to see less gang activity downtown with a gang unit that is restored. And I believe that I have those answers, and as mayor, I can work with the police chief to help restore public safety.
Thank you, Mayor McLean. The most pressing issue facing the city today, and what can the mayor's office do about it?
Well, as a safe city where our crime is down and has been down every year in the last 3 years, what I've heard and what I heard 4 years ago when knocking over 90,000 doors, which folks are concerned about having a place that they can afford to live in, that their kids can afford to live in when they come home. So we took an all hands on deck approach to housing, and we built momentum, and yes, there's so much more to do. We went deep into land trusts, and next week, we are going to be celebrating the opening of 300 homes at Franklin and Orchard, where folks will be able to walk right out to a park. On the ground floor, we're groundbreaking for a child care center that will hold 80 to 90 kids on bus routes across the street from a grocery store. We have more land trust properties that we've broken ground on, and we're celebrating that next year will be homes. We've changed ordinances and created incentives because we've got to have public-private partnership and solutions to address housing, to catch up for what we needed to do and do more as we grow. And as we think about our community, and we have a home that's safe for everyone, we've also got to make sure it's safe, which is why we've invested in public safety. It's why we've grown the department by 34 positions in 3 years. It's why we've invested in justice and accountability to ensure that our officers have the resources that they need, and the public knows that we're committed to staying safe as we grow. It's both safety and it's having a place that our kids can come home to and afford, just like we were able to when we started out our lives.
Thank you. Mr. Evans, same question.
I pretty much have to agree with the mayor on this. One of the biggest issues we have is housing affordability. In the last 4 years, I believe it's 467 units been brought online in affordable housing in the city of Boise. With the recent changes in the upzone, we are looking at displacement in the process of trying to bring many of those places back online. Individuals, organizations, and companies trying to get ahead of the curve in order to profit off of what these changes mean. Inside Boise city limits, that's going to be particularly problematic because a lot of the things associated with the upzone, such as multi-use facilities, are going to require changes and upgrades in the infrastructure, whether that's utilities, water, issues like public safety as well. As we start building up as opposed to out, these things need to be brought up, and private, nonprofit, public organizations are going to be vital to developing the future of Boise.
Thank you. Mr. Reis, the same question. What's the most pressing issue facing the city, and how can the mayor's office address that?
I think the most pressing issue facing anyone is as bright orange as I am, and we'll call it mental illness for the sake, or mental health or mental wellness. Public safety, I feel like the public's pretty safe here in Boise. Maybe a different type of like mental safety, I'd say. whether it's homelessness or otherwise, but, to the thought of policing, I'd say that, having a police department that's shot more people this year than any year since 2000, that doesn't make me feel super safe. I think the government should fear its people, not the other way around. And as far as housing goes, making more houses is just gonna make more of a market for moneyed interests to come in here and tearing up the very neighborhoods to rezone, the very neighborhoods that people actually are coming here for, to rezone and make more of a market for moneyed interests. It's just not gonna be the thing we want. We should make people be able to afford to live in the city that they vote in and that they work in. So I'd say like, we should probably talk about wages and stuff like that. I think that's pretty pressing.
Thank you,
People
yeah.
can afford the mental wellness of someone who's not in a survival mode and so occupied by that.